Hey everybody, welcome back. Vic Asmadi, Wizardry 8 Solo Bishop. I think we're going to make it past King Crab this time. What do we got? Slimes. Yeah. Let's see what we can do here.
With pleasure. With pleasure. Stay with Volap. With pleasure. Volap. With pleasure. Volap. With pleasure. Volap. We did it!
Easy enough. Alright. I probably need to go rest. Yeah, last episode was, I don't know, a little choppy, a little sloppy. It was late, but no excuses. Do better this time, at least in terms of trying not to push my edge too long. Mostly, though, I always blame crabs and roaches for doing more damage than I expect, but...
With pleasure.
Can't remember exactly what went wrong, except there's a lot of death.
With pleasure.
Oh. Well, alright. I remember asking for more slimes. Wonder... Yeah, that's fine. There's probably a few that really only require one shot, but we'll pick them off next.
With pleasure. Volap.
Okay.
With pleasure.
Got a 2, a 5, 8, 7.
With pleasure. Creepy. With pleasure. Volap.
Okay, and a 9.
With pleasure. Creepy.
Ooh. Yeah.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. Volap. With we
Okay.
did it!
Feathered hat. Yeah. I've already got one. Now remember, I don't want to burn too much. I don't want to burn alchemy too close to wizardry, so less stamina, at least for the short term. Oops. See if I can use wizardry for light, or use light to gain wizardry a little more. More slimes.
Stay with me. This could get messy.
Well, huh. Okay. Huh. It's really kind of amazing.
With pleasure.
Why can't I target?
With pleasure.
Did I hit light? Oh, jeez.
With ple- With pleasure. Volapoo.
Hey, you no shooting.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Okay, I already have the +4 pants, right? Yeah.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Okay, the bats are gone.
Volapoo.
Oh, jeez. I'm dead. He takes one swing and I mean, yeah, anything he swings. Oh, good.
With pleasure. Spotted a wild one.
I'm glad he woke up that way. Alright, let's run.
With pleasure.
I guess we were outside for so long, a lot of stuff kind of built up in here. I don't know.
With pleasure. Volapoo. With Quee-poo.
Let's get stamina back.
With pleasure. Volapoo. With pleasure.
Let's try it on
With
yellow.
pleasure. Spotted a wild one. Volapoo.
Okay.
With pleasure.
So there's still one slime, 4 crabs, like
With
a
pleasure.
bunch of bats.
We did it!
Shield mythology, fire mental. Okay. Oh,
I see something moving. Stay
Really?
with me. This could get messy.
I hate roaches.
With With pleasure.
Oops, I should be going this way.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Quee-poo!
With
We did it!
With pleasure.
All right.
With pleasure. With
8, 6. I'm going to try level 2 on the 6.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
Let's do Volapoo!
Of course not.
With pleasure.
Quee-poo!
With pleasure.
Quee-poo! We did it!
With pleasure.
Okay.
With With pleasure. With
We did it!
Good.
With pleasure.
Just picking up the laundry. Wizardry 25, Alchemy 22. Okay.
With pleasure. With
Volapoo! Hey! Quee-poo!
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Even taking a swing, that guy's still... Okay, just hit him. That's a good way to practice, right?
Yeah.
With pleasure.
We did it!
Okay, let's still keep going though. I only use my mental energy, mental mana.
With pleasure.
I still know there are bats running around.
Stay with me. This could get me.
And I ran right into these guys.
Too far, sugar. With pleasure.
Quee-poo!
Oh, they're shooters. What? What? That's not fair.
With pleasure.
Hey! Oh!
Fine, I gotta hit the shooter first.
With pleasure.
Quee-poo!
With pleasure. With
Quee-poo! We did it!
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
Okay.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
All clear so far.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
Okay, clear up to there.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
Alright, well, we're definitely making it... Oh. Almost definitely making it to our crab.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
6 and 7.
Too far, sugar.
What? Oh. Yeah, I need fire.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Oh, there's more. Okay.
Quee-poo!
8 and 7. All Alright.
With ple- With pleasure. With pleasure.
Poo! Hey! Clean poo! Hey!
With ple-
Volap poo! We did it!
Okay.
With 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 With
Okay. If you save and reload, it resets the timer on some of those buffs. So you can actually level up from casting fire and light. Or casting light. Alright.
It's locked up tight. It's locked up tight.
With pleasure.
Spotted a wild one.
Pick up the bomb. I can grab this too, right?
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
Okay, nothing up there. We're going to end up taking the bridge up over here, so we'll go and get that chest just because we can. So we're not going to be able to get back to it later.
Now, what do you suppose will happen when I touch this? Let's grab it.
Okay, stamina. Alright, and since we've got no way to do this,
It has a booby trap.
we're just going to punch it. Yep, that can happen.
It has a booby trap. Whoa. Hey!
Nothing good.
Oh!
With pleasure. With pleasure. With
Volap.
Okay.
with pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
Weepoo. Oh, that hurts. We did it.
Yeah, we'll just take the fish on from the shoreline here.
Came up empty.
Oh, much better. With pleasure.
Okay. Here, fishy fish.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Let's do it.
Yes.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
All right.
I see something moving.
Yeah, missed my chance. They're right there now.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
We just gotta run back.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
Okay.
Weepoo.
What? No, 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 no. Yeah, that's how that works. Thanks, game. Where am I? Back here. Okay.
With pleasure.
Let's do it.
Wow, how many hit points does he have? Oh, of course, one more.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Weepoo.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
did it!
Okay, one fish to go.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. Let's do it! With pleasure. With pleasure.
You can actually jump in the water at this point, though.
With pleasure. With pleasure. We did it!
Okay. Powders for money. Three of them, cool. Alright, let's head on up. I'm gonna go see Burrs. Assuming there's not like 20 roaches up here. What did
I
it
see
say?
something moving. Stay with me. This could get messy. With pleasure. Hey!
Where did you
With
shooting
pleasure.
slimes come from?
Roll-a-poo. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. We did it!
The helmet. I can't wear that. Alright. Oh, there's a crab right there. Wonder how heavy we are. Probably green, but not yellow. Maybe yellow. No, green.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Alright, heading up. Actually, we'll go to the morgue first, unless there's something out here.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Actually, I think we'll just combat run for a lot of this.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
With pleasure.
Alright, we're going to go to Burr's. Buy some stink bombs for sure.
With pleasure.
Probably.
With pleasure.
We're not going to do his chest yet.
With pleasure.
And then we'll go to the coffin room. We'll sneak past Gregor to do that.
We have company.
Was that you?
I'll actually hang on to the longsword. I'll need that for later. I'll wait on the powders. I can sell those for more elsewhere. Alright, what do you have that I can use? Mace. Yes. And now I can carry a shield with my weapon. What else do I need here? Probably some mod heals, probably some bombs. I'll sell a resurrection powder to buy more bombs. I have terrible throwing though at this point,
Come
but
back in.
it is
It
what
was a
it is.
pleasure.
Alright, we'll save here. Or rest here.
With pleasure.
I want to make sure there's nothing downstairs in case I need to escape down there.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Sleep over here and jump into the water if anything comes. Okay.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
Alright, here we go, Gregor. This way.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Spotted a wild one.
With pleasure.
I just got a shiver all through my body. Something's not right.
Useless.
With pleasure.
Also useless. That's too bad. Sometimes you can get
With
really
pleasure.
good things. I'd like a ring. I'd like, I don't know, enchanted mace. Useless.
With pleasure.
Nope, don't want any of that.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Alright, let's see where Gregor ended up.
With pleasure.
Over there.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Oh, that was useless. There's so many good things that could have been in there. But no.
With pleasure.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Gotta let them come down.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Looks like it's only 3 of them.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Alright, let's just start shooting.
With
I see something moving.
Guess I can get back here.
with pleasure.
Too far, sugar.
With pleasure.
Volapoo.
With pleasure.
Queen poo.
With
Queen poo.
with
We did it!
Okay. Am I sleeping now? Yeah. Alright, now we're gonna go to the roaches. Or the spiders, I guess.
With pleasure.
First, we'll
Spotted a wild one.
drop off some weight here.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
Spotted a wild one.
Okay.
With pleasure.
You coming, buddy? Over here. Coming this way.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
A little more.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
I see something moving.
Okay, good.
With pleasure.
Oh, no, 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 no. What? I don't know how I got incapacitated and forced to camp, and I don't know where Gregor went, but I'm okay with it.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
As long as Gregor's not up here, we're good. Alright. Bombs.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
Oops, what I hit? Oh. I hit repeat. Magic, not repeat. Item.
With pleasure.
We did it!
That's good. Throwing to 2, I see.
Now, what do you suppose will happen when I touch this? With pleasure.
Okay, now interestingly, I think we actually want Gregor to kind of chase us here.
With pleasure.
Yeah. Because then, when we come back, he'll be
With
retreating.
pleasure. With pleasure.
Alright, we made it to the Upper Monastery.
With pleasure.
Let's get our hat here. If I can, before I get the rats.
Spotted a wild one.
I'm not sure I can.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Okay. These spiders are terrible. So I've got 10 shots total, so I'll do
With pleasure.
2 5s.
With pleasure.
Spotted a wild one.
With pleasure. With
Well, they have to run to me.
with pleasure.
Three and 20.
With pleasure.
Creepoo!
That was perfect.
With pleasure.
Creepoo!
Huh. So close. Okay, I already got that. Okay, we're back for this. Yep, gotta just take away. Too greedy.
With
Too greedy. These
With pleasure.
These guys really are that dangerous, right?
Spotted a wild one.
too far. With pleasure.
Really?
Volapoo!
Wow, that was dumb.
With
Spotted a wild.
with pleasure.
Creepoo!
Yeah.
With
Spotted a wild one.
I've got light up again. Ridiculous.
with pleasure.
Volapoo!
Come on.
With pleasure.
Volapoo!
With pleasure.
they'll leave me alone down here.
With pleasure.
Roll-a-poo.
With pleasure.
Roll-a-poo. We did it!
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
Okay, so he's on the loose.
With pleasure.
Whoa. That's not even the one. There's level 6s that I'm hunting.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Clean poo.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
They're all over me!
Okay, those are the ones down below. Well, the rabbit rat's probably from... No, that's all part of the other spawns. Or the set.
Clean poo.
With pleasure.
I didn't get my shield up. Why isn't my shield up? Oh, because I locked it. Yeah, this is what it's going to be like for a while.
Spotted a one.
With pleasure. With
They're all over me! Clean poo. Hey!
with pleasure. With pleasure.
He's an 8. I have to run.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Hey! Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, having that shield up does make a difference. And there's the guy from before, right? You're my level 6.
With pleasure.
They're all over me! All over me!
With pleasure.
Alright. So, survived.
With pleasure.
Clean poo!
With pleasure.
$11.
Weepoo!
11 guys is kind of excessive, though, right?
We did it!
With pleasure.
I see something moving.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Volap.
With pleasure.
I see something moving.
With pleasure.
Too many, too fast.
Volap.
I've got problems.
With pleasure.
Hey!
Oh.
With pleasure.
Volap.
It's like I'm getting a shadow from them up above me. I don't think you'll come in here, though.
With pleasure.
Volap.
That's one way to find out if I'm wrong.
With pleasure.
Volap.
With pleasure.
Volap.
With pleasure.
Weepoo.
With pleasure.
Volap.
Okay.
With pleasure.
I see something move.
See something moving. Alright, well. I don't know if they're going to leave me.
With pleasure.
Weepoo.
With pleasure.
I don't know why they still have me in aggro.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Weepoo.
Alright.
We did it.
We kinda did it, right? Psionics 19. Let's check stats. Wizardry 26, Alchemy 23, Psionics 19. Okay. Good deal. So, let's... cast a light. Alright, I think we're about at time. So obviously we'll do more in the Upper Monastery in the next episode. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Oops. No, not camp. Exit. All right. Thanks. No. So many keys. All right. Thanks. Bye.